This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. These three letters could potentially change your life for the better, move you forward from challenging situations, things that have been bothering you for decades, potentially. NLP, Neuro Linguistics Programming. What exactly is that? We're going to learn about that today. It's just another modality, quite simple, actually, that can help you. And that's just one of many that she employs to make you feel so much better and realize these things that are stuck in our subconscious as well. She's an RN, acupuncturist, massage therapist, and so much more, and runs a fabulous center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that fosters wellness, path to wellness. And she is Teresa Wilkinson, back on the program with us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Glad to be here.
Yeah, good to have you back here. And I guess we'll start with NLP. And I know the basics for it, but I'm sure it goes way deeper than I ever imagined. Where do you want to start?
Okay, so I'll explain a little bit. Number one, a lot of therapists will do this differently. I've known there's different techniques, or some people will have a different technique for a different problem, situation, or emotion. I was taught the basics. Now, what's interesting is the points that I was taught are points called windows to heaven in Chinese medicine. And they sync up mental, emotional, spiritual, physical. And so the points are basically above the eye, to the side of the eye, and underneath the eye. And here at where the collarbones meet right here is, they also call this the thymus thump if you tap on it, because the thymus, and I'll point this down a little bit. The thymus is an immune gland. It helps with our immunity, and as we age, it will shrink. And if we tap on it, it keeps the thymus active and our immune system active. So tapping on it is a good thing. The other thing is I will work with there's 3 acupuncture meridians going on the inner arm, 3 on the outer arm. And if you squeeze your arm, you're squeezing all 6 meridians. So that's another thing that I work with. So I will demonstrate in the process, but just to give a little story line behind it, I had a psychologist teach this to me probably 35 years ago. So I've used it for a long time. And I've had my 2 good examples is I had a situation where it was, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or something. And it was a conflict with somebody that I'd worked with for 38 years. So it was a longtime friend and cohort. But so probably because I knew her so well, I probably got the most angriest I've ever gotten in my life that I remember. And wow. I couldn't believe how angry I got. And I was actually in the middle of a session. And so it was actually some people that were filming a movie close by, and the whole crew came here for a massage and acupuncture. And so several people were here. And I was so angry, I did not want to go back into my session. So I actually left in my car, went under a tree where there was shade and, I could chill and, be in an environment of nature. And I did this, and I set my timer for 10 minutes. I gave myself 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes of doing the NLP, it's also called Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT.
Okay, so question here, because EFT is, I've often heard, it's tapping, like you were doing before, right, and there's different meridians, right? NLP is similar or connected to that?
To me, it's the same. It's just a different name.
Because we hear the word linguistics, I think of language.
Yeah, so we use words.
Okay.
We're using words because you're describing emotions. So basically, we have about oh 20 negative emotions, and we only have maybe 7 positive emotions. Now I'm over exaggerating, but there's a lot more negative than there is positive
Yep.
to deal with in this particular list of things that I've been given. But anyway, within that 10 minutes, I came to perfect peace. And I came back in and I finished my session in perfect peace. So I was very impressed that in 10 minutes of doing the tapping, I went from super angry to total peace. And I never had any feeling of revenge or resentment afterwards. I came to total peace with that person, the situation, and with myself. I had another situation that was in the neighborhood where my border collie, I'd walked in the neighborhood for years, and this neighbor I'd always seen, good friends, and my border collie was super excited and ran over to see her. And border collies are known for herding. So his little instinct was to kind of nip at her heels because of his excitement. And she ended up not understanding his excitement, and actually called the animal
Animal control. Yeah.
And so it was several days later. So what was weird is I came home from church. I was driving up my neighborhood. I live at the end of a cul-de-sac up on a hill. I saw the trucks there. My dogs were in the house. I was on my own. So I thought, you know what? I'm not even going to face this. I'm going to just go run some errands. So I went and ran some errands. Well, what I didn't realize is they were following me. They must have caught me in their sight, and they followed me all the way several miles to this Home Depot. And once I entered Home Depot, so this is right after church, so 12:30, right after church, I enter. They stop me outside of Home Depot, tell me to go in the parking lot, and the police and 10 trucks surround me in this parking lot. They hold me for the entire afternoon until it started getting dark. And then they wrote me up for 10 tickets, and they were all lies. It was all lies. And it cost me, I think once I added it up on all the fines, going to court, everything I had to deal with, I think it ended up costing me about $20,000.
What?
I was to the point where I couldn't sleep. I was so mad. And this lady, if she saw me in the neighborhood, she would yell and cuss at me. And so I worked for it took maybe 2 to 3 years of doing this NLP, working on this situation to come with peace. And
I'm speechless. What was the grounds for them following you? Like what did you?
Because they said my dog bit her. So anyway, 3 years later, she's in the center of we have a little, the neighborhood has a little center median that we plant flowers and things like that. And so she was out there planting flowers, and I rolled my window down and said, "Hi, how you doing?" She goes, "Hey, how are you doing?" And everything was friendly. And I thought, man, I just had a miracle. And then later I have moved to this ranch, and I do Airbnb at my house. And if there's ever been electric out or water out or something like that, she lives just behind me on the other block. I'll call her and go, "Hey, what's going on? When will the water be on? When will the electric be on?" And it was a year ago, Christmas. We talked for an hour on the phone like we were best friends. So to me, that was a miracle.
I'm gonna say it was a miracle based on what you went through, the expense, the being accused of something that you feel that is not justified.
Right.
That's a miracle. Like seriously, that you can let that go. And it's been said that no matter what happens, we need to forgive. We don't condone what somebody does, but forgive to move your life forward. They don't even need to know you forgave them, but it sounds like you, through NLP and EFT, that got it done.
That's
Wow.
right. That's right. So, yeah, because it's really, you want peace in your own soul, your own heart, and you don't want to carry that around. And then what's cool is the fact when you have that healing, the other person can have that healing. So it actually will go reciprocal, just like even the one that did to the 10-minute thing. I had total peace with the coworker. They had no issue with me because they didn't even, it was me that got upset. They weren't upset. So anyway, so I was able to work in my environment with peace, so anyway, so this is what I do when somebody comes in very upset. I even had a psychologist come in super, super upset the other day, but she was in so much pain physically. I was going to do NLP on her, and her physical pain was so great. I did acupuncture and massage, and the acupuncture actually completely leveled her out and created a peace. And the work I had to do physically, to me, was more important than, the NLP. So I never even got to that because I worked more on helping her feel better. But I thought it was interesting as a psychologist. A lot of people go into psychology and psychiatry because they go through so much as a child with their parents, and they can have a very traumatic childhood, and that's what leads them into that. So a lot of times they may have as much problem as their clients, and they just understand it so well because of their life. So anyway, so I'll get started. So I'm going to just actually go through, speak just like I would. So going back to it, when I have a patient on the table and they're going through something very emotional, I'll tell them from 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, make it a 10. Go back in your experience, whatever you're having the issue with, relive whatever it is, and whatever certain situation is the worst, make it a 10 in your mind. And I have them keep their eyes closed while I do the tapping on them. So I'm going to actually just demonstrate on myself. I'll stick my hand up so you'll see me squeezing my arm. But I'll go through these different emotions. And sometimes I will ask them, if you want to speak out an emotion, speak it out. Because some people will have just very specific emotions with it. Some people don't know how to even put their finger on it. They just feel overwhelmed and they don't really know how to describe the emotion. So I'll just go through all the emotions that I can come up with. And so if anybody's listening and watching, you can do this for yourself too, about anything you're stressed out about. And Lord knows we're going to have something stressful in our life, even if you listen to the news. So, but personally, we'll always have something, I think, because that's just planet Earth. We're, I think, here to overcome, and like you say, learning forgiveness for our own growth for our soul. Because I think as our soul and spirit grows, then when it's our time to cross over, then we have come to a higher place. And I think that's one of the purposes we come to Earth, is to learn forgiveness and love. Those are the two key things that we've been taught through the teachings of Christ and any other master teacher of any other major religion. All the master teachers have all taught the same thing: forgiveness and love.
It doesn't mean it's easy, but look what transpired in your world with that situation. I mean, you could be walking around, see that woman, you could, a number of different things you could do, and you didn't. You released it, you moved forward. And I know there was massive expense involved in that, and I'm sorry you had to go through that. But but you can't put a price on peace either. Just
That's true. That's
that
true.
feeling of, all right, that's over with. Let's move this forward. And if you still held on to that anger, angst, animosity, all of that, you'd be holding that energy as life went on, and that's gonna, lack of a better description, eat you up on the inside, and then probably wreak havoc with your health.
Yeah, and so I've experienced people that they always want to complain, they always want to bellyache, they always want to see the worst, they always want to. What does that do? But it just ages you. It makes you a, a chronic kind of ugly person.
Mm-hmm.
Does that bring out beauty? No. Does that bring out happiness in your life and fun and joy? No. And so we want to I want to say we want to transform and keep ourselves actually just as happy and joyful as we can be, ideally, because life is always full of stress. I mean, just traffic, driving to work, different things.
Totally.
It's always around us. So anyway, so I'm gonna begin in I'll begin kind of in a neutral way, but everybody think of whatever could be bothering them or some traumatic event in their life. Maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they had a relationship that was abusive. Maybe it could be their sibling or brother or sister that was mean to them. It could be they were bullied at school. So many kids are bullied at school.
Oh yeah.
And then I've had people that are Latino that are bullied at work. Say they're in a computer programmer or something and they're bullied at work. So people, everybody just think of something that they want to release, let go of, something unpleasant, and think of it as a number 10, and then we'll reevaluate as we go.
Mm.
So close your eyes, and I'm just going to start tapping above the eyes. I'm going to release boredom and being pessimistic, going over to the side of the eyes, and I'm tapping, releasing anything, being pessimistic, argumentative, wanting to complain, tapping underneath the eyes, releasing and letting go of feeling impatient, irritable, releasing and letting go, releasing and letting go. Then to go down to the thymus, the thymus thumb, releasing, letting go frustration, letting go of anybody that's frustrating you, irritating you, feeling impatient, wanting to complain, and then grabbing your arm and just squeeze peace, 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 peace. Letting go of feeling overwhelmed, letting go of feeling anxious, letting go of feeling so overwhelmed you can't even listen to somebody. Letting go, and also karate chopping right between the thumb and the forefinger. Letting go, and then peace, 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 peace. Letting go of feeling disappointed, letting go of doubt, letting go of feeling like you've got to just complain to people all the time, letting go, and then letting go of that doubt, disappointment, frustration, being pessimistic, letting go, and then peace, 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 peace. Okay, letting go of worry, 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 worry. Letting go of blaming people, blaming and shaming. Letting go of feeling like you always have to criticize, blame, shame. or you feeling like you're being blamed or shamed. Letting go of feeling blamed, feeling shameful, feeling like people are bullying you, criticizing you. Letting that go, letting that go. Peace, 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 peace. Letting go of feeling discouraged, discouragement, feeling like everybody's picking on you, everybody's blaming you, everybody's talking about you behind your back. Letting go of how upset it makes you, how it makes you feel discouraged, angry. Letting go of that anger. Letting go of anger, that feeling where you just feel totally overwhelmed and angry. You don't know how to control it. Letting go of anger. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace.
Just about out of time.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
So then let me move into the positive. Okay. So let us go into, we've wiped away the negative. Now we're going to bring in the positive. We got to fill up that void that we've released with positive. So now we go, I look great. I act great. I feel great. I am great. Everybody's great. Peace, 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 peace. So who's the Prince of Peace? Who is known historically as the Prince of Peace?
All I know is the Prince of Darkness is Ozzy Osbourne.
Well, Jesus was the Prince of Peace.
Who was it?
Anyway,
Who was it?
Jesus. Jesus was known as the Prince of Peace.
I never heard that before.
He taught love and forgiveness. So we're going to bring in love, peace, harmony, hope, joy, enthusiasm. So we'll end with love, joy, and happiness.
This is radically different than what I thought it was. Yes, the tapping, I got that. But I find it fascinating that the meridians where you're tapping are all the same, up here, here, and down. And you just need to change it up. But now I understand the NLP portion of it. I thought it was more of certain languages used by a practitioner to invoke certain changes within us, rewiring our brain.
But we do rewire by taking out, it's like a computer program. Yeah. Our brain's like a computer. We're deleting the negative and we're bringing in the positive. We're letting go of a bad program or putting in a new program. I'm
seeing that. That's super cool. And like you said, you could do this anywhere. If you're triggered, walk away and just go somewhere and get it done.
I always tell people to go in the bathroom where they're private, or if you're driving, you can be driving with one hand on the wheel and do it one-handed.
Yep.
Because you can do it driving to work. So
thank you for sharing this. And I know it's used in many, even with PTSD. It's my understanding this is very impactful. Very much appreciated. I want to throw out there any comments. Maybe you've done this before, or maybe you got a question. Instant feedback, steve@gmail.com. You're available, tulsapath.com in obviously Tulsa, right?
Right.
Beautiful.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. Okay.
Thank you for today, Teresa. I really appreciate it.
That was great. Okay.
All right. We'll talk soon.
Better? I feel better.
I'm going to be doing this later. You think I'm kidding? Okay. I really am. and the peace. That's a new one for me. I wasn't aware of that one. All right. We'll catch up next week.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.